Welcome to the Class is Permanent podcast. Today is Friday, April 17th, and we have an awesome episode here ahead of you. We have a Champions League recap of the quarterfinals. We have an awesome interview with MD Myers of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. We're going to get into a preview of some big games this weekend, some very big games. Man City versus Arsenal is probably the one we're going to talk the most about. Let's get into it. Away we go.
Class is permanent!
Alrighty, the banter has already started pre-show. We are already at each other's throats. It's a big week here. I think we're all feeling, I don't know, maybe it's allergies, maybe it's tension, maybe it's pressure. But let's get into it. I'm joined by my favorite co-host, a man who lives in the past, a man who's just celebrating second place and coping already, Dan Capucci. What's up, Pooch?
I feel led astray, run amok. I feel like people are attacking me. I'm backed into a corner. Earlier today, I was telling Ethan about something that has zero relation to our podcast. And quote, this is what Ethan said. He said, to be fair, you probably stand on business the least amount of all three of us. And I said, was not even talking about you. He said, okay,
Wasn't clear.
Fair enough. You do stand on business. I felt attacked. But while he was putting that into our chat, I didn't see because I was replying to his first one. And then I started going at him about always blaming the refs for Barcelona's loss. And I ended up having to say weapons down. Everybody were on the same side. So there was a mini truce there. But I have a feeling this could all kick off at certain moments of this podcast, and I don't know where it will lead to. I don't know what new divisions it will bring up. I'm so pro Owen, but I'm teetering on the edge of Owen saying one thing and me just going at him. Pause.
I think, and that's a great intro for Owen. Hi, Owen.
What's up, guys? Pleasure to
see you. Good to see you, Owen. Yeah, I think we're all kind of like Mexican standoff. We've lowered the weapons, but at any moment the weapons can come up. And transparently, me and Owen are probably standing on the same side of things. But Owen just has to say one thing to me, and I might take Pooch's side.
I legitimately think all three of us are probably on the edge of glory. Shout out Lady Gaga.
Yo.
Lady Gaga.
Okay.
But yeah.
Well, let's get into the episode then. I'm sure we will have a lot to talk about towards the end when we do our preview. Let's start with some of the news from around the world. First off, and a lot of it's Messi and Miami based. Javier Mascherano has stepped away from his role as manager of Inter Miami. Was always a weird appointment. I mean, they won the league with him, but it was always kind of a weird appointment. He didn't do like the whole like Xavi thing where he went to like Qatar first. He kind of just became a manager. Did someone already take a job there or no?
I don't know, but I do want to just point out that one of the requirements for being a manager is that, or not one of the requirements for being a manager is taking a job in Qatar. Like, not every manager starts out in Qatar.
I guess.
He did coach in Argentina beforehand. So,
did he?
Yes.
That was my point. I did not know that. My point is I thought you just got the job. Okay.
No. He was a manager in Argentina.
Okay.
I mean, I think this is a bad decision by Inter Miami because, Ethan, what are my two criteria for being a really good coach?
Bald or handsome? No, you don't like when they're handsome.
No, they can't be handsome.
They can't be handsome. So
no.
Does that go in hand in hand with, is there another one? Is bald and like not handsome?
Yeah, I think it was either bald or not handsome.
Wait, so you're
bald
claiming Arteta is not handsome in your eyes? Or is he a bad manager?
I mean, I don't know how it turned to Arsenal. We're talking Inter Miami right now.
I asked you about a manager, as someone who I think he's got a good head of hair at his age.
We're discussing Inter Miami.
It was a question.
Guns are being raised slowly. The guns are being raised slowly.
No guns were raised. It was a question.
Nobody brought up, you're the one bringing up Arsenal. You're the one bringing up Arteta.
I could bring up other managers. Who's another one who's handsome? Maybe the St. Louis City manager. Is he handsome? Or is he a bad manager?
He's super handsome, which makes him a bad manager.
Okay. So my question to you about Mikel Arteta is he handsome?
But we're not even talking about we're talking Inter Miami and we're talking Javier Mascherano here.
Okay, no problem. Let's talk Javier Mascherano then. Well, he's bald though, so he should be a good manager.
Yes, exactly. He won the league with Inter Miami.
Okay,
so it's a bad decision to fire him because he's bald.
Okay. I don't know if they fired him. It seems like I mean, I guess he was going to be fired,
I
but
also heard rumors. I don't know if he has a beef with Casemiro, but I heard rumors that Casemiro might be going to Inter Miami and that
dude.
they have some sort of beef.
hmm
That's what my sources are telling me.
Yeah. I don't know about that beef, but yeah, I don't think signing Casemiro is a good signing for them. It seems like the top candidate's actually funny enough for Xavi, which would kind of be awesome for him because he's probably too good a manager to be managing the MLS, but would probably love just managing Messi. Um, or Marcelo Gallardo, who was the guy from Argentina, who I think we
River
spoke about a
Plate.
couple of. Yeah, that'd
Yeah.
probably be a very good appointment. But that's also probably feels like
Let me
again
look.
for him, he probably deserves a chance to go to Europe. That's kind of been the whole thing with him.
Yeah, let me look on a website that we are not affiliated with gambling wise to
Okay.
see the odds of these managers.
Yep. I
Okay,
do have it
so
right here.
Xavi is the most, Gallardo second. Holy shit, fifth, Ethan Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Stop glazing. Stop glazing.
No, you always talk about how you're moving to Miami soon, and
So am I handsome or am I just a bad manager? No, or am
I
I a
mean
good manager?
you could shave your head and become a great manager.
Okay, thank you. See, that was nice. Very nice.
Like
All right.
has your team, let's be honest here, has your team ever lifted a trophy?
Which one?
Class is permanent Sunday League team.
Oh, you mean like my actual team? No, we
Yeah.
haven't. You're right. I'm a shit
Okay.
manager. So
What
you're calling
what
me handsome.
what did what did you guys finish last year?
I guess technically second. I think we finished
Oh,
third in the league, second in the playoffs.
okay.
Interesting.
Interesting.
So you're calling Arteta handsome.
I'm not calling Arteta anything. I'm just saying
I just
that
want you to stand
you
on it.
over here, you're saying like, oh, second place, ha ha ha, bottlers. You bottled the league
Wait,
last
wait, wait,
year.
wait. We were
You
not
bottled the
bottlers.
league.
We
No,
never were
we
top of the
bottled the
league,
league.
bozo.
We were top of the league for the first 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. So we're going off the first three games. That's
The betting
bottling the
lines
league.
had us. The betting lines had us minus 570 to win the league at the start
There's
of the
no
season.
way. Not to mention, Pooch, not to mention, the year before, we were like, we should have been relegated. The 2 seasons before, we were horrific.
Yeah, but then we brought in great transfers. You made great signings.
See, it sucks because he's kind of glazing me a little bit. And that's where, like, I struggle here. All
The
right.
lines get blurred. The
The
lines
lines
get
get
blurred.
blurred. And
I
then
know how to get to you.
I'm
I
raising my
have,
gun at Owen for some reason. Just
yeah,
Owen is now in danger.
and I
Let's
still
move.
have my nuke available. Like I still have the nuke
What
available.
nuke do you have? You're like the Iranians. What nuke do you? I'm gonna have to cut that.
You know exactly what nuke I have. The voices. I
Whatever,
hear
man.
voices in my head.
This is one of those episodes, man.
They
All right,
want
next
to
piece of
be-
news here. Messi buys UE Cornella from Spain. They're in the third division. He's 100% owner. This is actually, I think, the second or third club he owns. He owns Cornella, he owns an esports club, and then he owns Real Madrid. But yeah, good for Messi doing like the Beckham thing. Yeah, good memes, right?
Nice. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, that would be interesting. I know PK owns Andorra, and they've done pretty well in their time. So I'm curious to see if Messi follows like the same kind of blueprint.
I would love when Messi retires to do a
Welcome to
video
Wrexham.
series, yes, of his club because he's so bad at public speaking. It would be hilarious that having a camera follow him all of the time when he's at these games would be I would tune into that every week just to
It would
see
just
him
be
like
so awkward.
exactly. They would be hilarious. So
He'd be
yeah,
sitting watching the game, drinking his mate, and they'd just be like, "Hey, like, why don't you talk?" And he's like, "About what?"
no,
He's like, I'm
no,
no, like, no." Or they'd be like, "Hey, can you do this interview in English?" And like he refuses to speak English, although I think he
yeah.
knows it. Um,
He just
yeah, that
keeps
was the big
saying
news.
Michelob Ultra over and over again.
That was one of my. I love Michael Ultra, and I love Messi. All right, moving on. And then I wrote this piece of news down. It kind of sucks. Chivu, who's the Inter Milan manager, will be staying. Italian football shot. I guess it's not really fair to fire him because he's winning, but I don't know. Felt like relevant news. Pooch thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's going to be fine for them. They have more issues than a manager, so I think
Yeah.
probably not paying that buyout money or whatever from the contract that he signed this past off season is probably smart to save some money. But yeah, I mean, it's not like they've fallen off a cliff in terms of the league. Like they still are going to probably win Serie A, so it's
Yep.
not too bad.
100%. Alrighty, Pooch, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, a strict 5 minutes here to talk about the 1966 World Cup.
Okay. 1966, read it today. Connor W. never put anything on Spotify, so still not giving up the book.
He actually came back to me. He
What'd he
listened and
say?
he wants to make an agreement. Here it is. Ready? Here was what he texted me. I was supposed to put it in our docs. Okay. He said, and Pooch thinks he's real slick requesting a Spotify comment for book title. I want to make a deal with him. If Arsenal wins the league, I'll comment. If City win the league, then he has to announce it. He is a City fan. I think this is a horrible deal on his side. I think it's a very, Connor, love you. I think it's a bad deal on your side. You could have just left a comment and got what you wanted.
Yeah, I'm now withholding it for
right.
probably
I don't know why
a
we did
decent
this.
amount of time. Yeah,
I don't know why he did this.
Yeah, that's not a deal I'm willing to accept. That actually the ante has been upped. He needs to comment on every single one of our Instagram posts until I'll give him 3 weeks. Every single Insta post and Spotify episode that comes out, he needs to comment on for me to give up the book. So
Connor, you screwed yourself here, brother.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on, Pooch.
So 1966 was an interesting one. As we all know, England ends up winning it all. I think that's pretty normal. Everybody knows that. 66. The one interesting part, though, is I believe it was 4 or 5 months before the World Cup actually started. The Jules Rimet Trophy was actually stolen. I don't know if you know this, Ethan.
Was this the dog thing?
Yes. So it was stolen, for the people that don't know, and they tried to ransom it back because they thought it was out of pure gold. It was literally silver with like painted gold on it because FIFA was too cheap to buy an actual thing. But it was also from 1930. But the thieves wanted, in modern day, $40,000 in cash. So one of the thieves goes to meet the undercover officer. They bring him. They end up arresting him. He claims he has no knowledge. The next day, or maybe a week later, some random guy walking his dog sees a package on his neighbor's car. They open it up, and it's just a trophy. So there's a lot of rumors about like, oh, local crime bosses, like all of this stuff. I just think it was probably some idiot who like was like, oh shoot, like I did not expect this to be A, so cheap, and then B, like everybody's so attentive to it. So yeah, interesting little snippet there. The actual World Cup itself was interesting in a few ways. The first way was, I think it's the first time we've really seen all of South America come together, ban up, and say, the tournament's rigged. I feel like nowadays it definitely feels very jaded towards South Americans saying this is rigged, this is rigged. And this was the first time that I've read of like all of the South Americans countries coming together saying it's rigged. They have points. For example, Argentina, they played in the quarterfinals against England. They had a West German ref. They got into a little bit of a tiff with West Germany in the group stage. Meanwhile, the West Germany quarterfinal game had an English ref. So Argentina claimed conspiracy there. Brazil claimed conspiracy about a couple other things. Important note, because Brazil just won the last 2 World Cups, that this one they did not play well. They actually, geopolitically wise, they had a new like kind of communist-esque government in place, or a new government in general, and basically it kind of ruined this version of Brazil because a lot of the players obviously weren't paying taxes, so a lot of them had to back pay taxes. Players weren't happy with the government. The president of football wasn't had a beef with the manager, and he fired him mid-tournament. Yeah, Garincha, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
There we go. Garincha, this was his downfall. I mean, he had an injury 2 years before this World Cup that basically ended his career. And on top of that, he owed so much money that the Brazilian Federation had to pay it back to the government. He didn't even pay for it. And then Pele retires at the end of this tournament from international soccer.
Okay.
He comes back later. He
I was
does
gonna
come
say, I was
back
like,
later, yes, but he retired and at 26 years old. So it's crazy. It would be like if Yamal decided, I don't know, in 2 World Cups from now that he's like, I'm retiring, and you're like, dude, you're
yeah,
26, you're about to enter your prime. Like,
yeah,
what do you
yeah,
mean
yeah.
you're retiring? Like,
By the way, you said his name right for the first time in the podcast. Is history. History. You said Yamal instead of Yamin.
yeah, I know. I think I'm just gonna go to that instead
So,
of going
his
Yamin.
name. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
just gonna call him by his name.
yeah.
Understood. Okay.
So that's the comparison I can draw to for people. The games themselves, it was interesting. We saw, I know I mentioned last time, the 62 World Cup was kind of that first anti-football, that first really 4-2-4. The English won it basically playing a 4-4-2 for the first time. So it's the first time they basically said, the English manager said, like, it worked because a lot of the fullbacks didn't understand how to play the wingers because the wingers were getting so deep that they didn't know if they should go out and chase the winger or if they should just stay back in their back four. So that's how that worked. Uh,
Okay.
the English team was led by Bobby Charlton, which we all know. And
Hendrick's favorite
nice,
player.
yes, and nice little tippet. That's a great callback. Nice little tippet because I'm trying to keep it short and sweet. Uh, First World Cup with Franz Beckenbauer. He's 20 years old at this. I mean, that's a guy who, like, I believe he played up until the 90s, if not late 80s. So he had
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
20-year career. This is his first World Cup in 66, which is kind of crazy to think about. Uh, but I think after reading this, I would put this World Cup, I think I put it third
yeah. Okay.
because it had moments where you're sitting there and you're like, that's great. That's great entertainment, good, interesting tactical dialogue, but it still doesn't come up to the entertainment and the tactical ingenuities of 54 and 50. So
Okay.
next episode, I will give everybody, what is it, 70?
Yeah.
And I don't know, the 70s are where I get dicey, where I just don't know anything. They're like the
Yeah.
30s and 50s to me, where it's just like, I don't know anything. The 60s, I knew kind of, Brazil twice,
Right, right,
England
right.
once, but the 70s, it's going to blow my mind. It's going to blow my freaking mind.
Good stuff there, and we appreciate it, Pooch. Definitely a big one. Obviously, for those that know the song, it's coming home by, I guess, England fans. It comes from this World Cup, which is nuts. They have not won since '66, but they have been somewhat considered a superpower in footy since
Also,
then.
the World Cup final went to extra time too.
Did it? Okay.
Oh, how did I forget to bring this part up? The the first goal scored in extra time was claimed to be a goal, but a lot of people that were there and like the journalists say like it wasn't, that it hit the crossbar, kind of like Frank Lampard's, but the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
opposite, where it hit the crossbar and hit out. But the
Okay.
issue was that fans ran onto the pitch when they saw the ball's flight path and everything. So
Yeah.
the fans ran into the goal to grab it, like to grab the ball and celebrate because it's 3-2 now. They're beating West Germany in the final. They're so
Yeah.
excited. So the German, I forget, it might have been Kicker or some other football magazine in Germany, said it was that 1966 is a crime scene that must like never be discussed ever again, because they view it as kind of like we should not have lost that game. But yeah.
Good stuff. We appreciate it. Let's move in to our Champions League recap. Obviously, a huge midweek here. We previewed it on Tuesday's episode. I'm going to just start with Barca. It was obviously the Tuesday night game or Tuesday day game, but I'll start. Pooch is right. I am going to talk about the refereeing. For those that did not see or did not follow, I let the hold on against Barca 3-2 on aggregate. The game ended 2-1 on aggregate, or excuse me, 2-1 in this leg. I was working, so for those that also were on the edge of their seat, whether Ethan watched or not, on my way to work, I was able to hear Lamin's first goal. So I was like, all right, bet. I was like, we're chilling. Then throughout my day of working, I was like, you know what? If it pops up on my watch or something, I'll see it. But if not, I'm just going to go about my day. As I was moving from one field to another, I took a look. I saw we lost, but all my phone said was, because I get like text notifications via Twitter, was just Rafinha saying we got robbed. And I was like, bruh, it's like, couldn't happen again. I went home that night. I decided to sit down. Dinner was great. My parents made some burgers, tater tots. I was like, all right, I can get with this. In a caloric deficit still, for those wondering, but still able to enjoy the good stuff. But here's my take on it. At the end of the day, I'm going to say the reffing is questionable, and here's why it's questionable. I think to get hit 2 different times with soft ass calls that are straight reds like that is insane. I'm not going to be the guy that says there's a conspiracy or, they're out to get us. It's just insane. Pooch made a great point last episode about or 2 episodes ago about the Kubarsi red card. Like, it's questionable at best. And then this one again with Garcia, some angles show that Sorloth kicks his own ankles together, essentially. Some show that Jules Koundé is potentially really the last man. He could probably get there. Questionable. Danny Olmo doesn't get a potential penalty in the box. It is what it is. At the end of the day, it wasn't good enough. They had a lot of chances late. Shout out to Aleti for holding on. The real key here, and I'm sure everyone has seen the Barca and Bastoni links. It seems like Barca and Bastoni have agreed on personal terms. It's just about the teams finding it. Barca needs like 2 to 3 killers. That's what's going to make them a Bayern Munich at this point, or like a PSG, where they have 2 to 3 players in every position that are truly world class. Starting Eric Garcia at center back, he's a decent rotation option, but I just don't think he's up to the par. Kubarsi gets a red card, which I still think Kubarsi, who is again only about 19 years old, 18. No, he's 18 years old. He has a lot ahead of him, but I'm excited about Esque and Bastoni and being able to shore up the backline, hopefully. Same thing with striker. It seems like Lewandowski, the reports came out that Lewandowski is not going to renew. Then it leaves us with just Ferran Torres, who in this game actually didn't look half bad. But you need a killer up top. You need a Harry Kane. You need a Luis Suarez. You need a proper number 9 up top to, bag goals and, help out Lamine. Lamine would have probably similar to Elise numbers if he wasn't hitting it to a 40-year-old Lewandowski or to a Ferran Torres that half the time. I'm not going to say what I'm going to say. Shout out to Aleti. They did what they had to do to get the job done. We're going to move on to PSG.
Hold on. I watched this whole game.
Okay.
In my opinion,
Yes,
think it was more of a red than Kubarsi's.
this one was.
I understand the Koundé. That's the only part where I'm like, okay, I could maybe see how it's not a red.
Yeah.
But the actual incident itself, I mean, he is the last man. I don't think the refereeing throughout the whole game I think it wasn't great, but it wasn't great for both sides. I think both teams had 3 or 4 deflected balls go out for corners, and it was just given a goal kick. But it was like even. I think this is a bigger indication of Barcelona against Atletico Madrid this year in 2-legged draws, just completely faltering in the first leg and then doing a really good job at like hyping themselves up to come back. But like the first leg killed them both times in this and Copa del Rey, where it's like you basically like set yourself up for failure. As much hype as you want to give yourself, like they did a great job in that first half coming back, but it's like immediately there's a little stoppage in the game because who was it? It was
Firmino, who got kicked in the face.
Got the head injury, but they capitulated within 2 minutes, and it's like you can't do that. I think that if you want to say maybe there's a call for the Fernan Torres goal.
The one that was ruled offsides. Is that what you're saying?
One, that rule to me, I still don't 100% get. It still seems so subjective. I always was taught growing up as a defender, if it deflects off of you or touches you, there's no offsides. But the way that it seems to be within the past like 5 years is, you could still be offsides if it's a deflection, if it's not intentional.
My understanding,
I don't understand that.
Yeah, my understanding, just like from reffing growing up, is the defender has to make a like obvious attempt on the ball. So if you're just standing there and someone kicks it off kicks it, hits your shoulder, and you don't try and you know, make a move to play the ball, it just hits you, you're offsides. If even if they're trying to kick it the opposite way, and that's usually where the deflection thing comes in, because it's a lot of times it's a player whiffs, right? Where it goes off the side of their boot and still goes behind them. They have to be making an obvious play on the ball to whether it's playing it backwards or it doesn't matter. Um,
Then I owe a lot of parents apologies from when I refed
Yeah, it's
in my
not just a
youth.
deflection. If the kid makes, or the kid, but the player makes any indication that they are playing the ball, so trying to move the ball, it is 100% onside at that point. But if it's just like you're standing there and it hits your shoulder and you don't even try and play it and it deflects off, like you're still offsides. That's my understanding of the rule. I kind of always understood it, just because the idea is they don't want someone standing 10 yards offsides. The other team just turns around and passes the ball to you and you're offside, if that makes sense. They want to
Yeah.
make it so it's like, you could still play, I guess, and not that. But at the end of the day, you're right, right? Like, I could say the refereeing is questionable. I think Barca fans are a little frustrating because it's 2 games with back to back. That last defender rule, I think it's just the way that it happened. Both just felt so soft, which again, it is what it is. But I think, and something I saw a lot, well, if you're going to play things to the letter of the law and be so soft, the Mark Pubel thing last week should have been a penalty. The goalkeeper stops the ball, plays it, he turns, he puts his hand on it and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So it's
you
like you kind of
can't.
have to play both to the letter of the law then. I don't know.
You have to read in the future. You got to be fictional about it. You can't be nonfiction and look at the past at all. You got to just look to
Mm,
the future. Um,
Is
I
this
do, huh?
Yeah, okay. You want to
No,
raise the guns
that's
again? No, you want to raise the
no,
guns
no.
again.
That's
You're
what
off
you
Barca
told me
FC.
earlier.
You're off Barca
That's what you
FC. You're
told me
off Barca
earlier.
FC. You're
That's
done.
what you
You're
told me
officially
earlier.
done.
You
This
just
is an
told me
alert.
that
Bart
earlier.
Pooch is off
You just
Barca
told me that
FC.
earlier.
Enjoy Madrid, bozo.
You just told me that earlier.
Move on. PSG beat Liverpool 4-0. I didn't watch this. Liverpool still ass.
I
PSG
think
is
I think
back.
maybe like
All right.
15 people watched that one.
Yeah, no one watched this garbage.
No.
Bayern outlast Madrid in Thriller 6-4. Um,
You
again, I
don't
didn't
want to
get to
talk
watch.
about that one? Oh, that was an amazing one.
This one was great.
With
I just kept getting notifications. I got like what was
yeah,
it? Guler scored in the first minute, Pavlovic in the sixth. I don't even know from there
yeah. I
what
mean,
happened.
Goulet, it was like a mistake, and he just capitalized on it for that first minute. I didn't honestly, because I was watching the Arsenal game, I didn't know probably until minute 20 that that game was such a thriller, and then I put it on like with the Arsenal game.
Yeah.
Um, but I was like, what do you mean? And then I looked and I was like, oh my God, how is this pot? Like Madrid has just this
Yeah.
crazy magic about him. But then again, I saw all the Real Madrid fans like and players too. I'll say this. I love when Madrid loses and they get so butthurt about like a mistake that they could have avoided. Like Kamavinga doesn't need to keep picking up the ball and like
Yeah.
rolling it. Like that's something that's avoidable. If you told me it was a 50-50 challenge, he goes in, studs up, but he touches the ball, like one of those, or even like the Eric Garcia or Kubarsi red card, where you're like, like I could see the point potentially. Like I could see where they could get mad. It's all Kamavinga's doing, and then all
Yep.
of the players are like in the ref's face, and it's like your fault, your fault. It's like it's really not his fault. If he was smart, he wouldn't have done that. Like
Yep.
it's just very funny to me always seeing that, and that Olise goal at the end was crazy.
He
Just an insane goal.
he's ridiculous. It's kind of nuts because like he's one of those players that you see him at Crystal Palace, right, when he was there, and you're like, oh, this is a really good
Yeah.
player. And I remember like Bayern went for him, and I'm like, he's good, but like he kind of gives me like Serge Gnabry vibes. Like when he was at Arsenal, you're like, all right, he's good,
Yeah.
but he's not like Bayern Munich world class.
Mhm.
And then he plays in Bayern Munich, and you're like, oh, you almost were like he was probably held back by his teams prior.
It's also hilarious to me that he's from London, but he plays on the
Yeah.
French national team and he barely knows French. And it
Yep.
doesn't seem like he wants to take the time to learn French. He's just
Yep.
like, we in it.
What's
Like,
yeah, like what's hilarious about that too is he'd actually if he played for England, like I would honestly consider them more so favorites. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
him playing for
I
France
for,
is just a wealth of talent, which I get for him. He's like, I might win more, but I almost feel like he'd have a better chance playing with England, like playing week in and week out, or not week in, week out, but tournament. Like he'd be the starting right winger, like without a doubt, or the starting left wing, or whatever, however they set up.
no, yeah, no, I don't know why he chose France. Okay, I found it. He
Okay.
chose to represent France over England due to a lifelong personal connection to the country, driven by his mother's French Algerian roots and a long-held dream to play for France. So I
Okay,
guess he felt
interesting.
that connection over England, and which you can't
Yeah,
blame him if you're like, hey,
it's
my
just
mother's French Algerian, I want to play for him.
it's just funny because he grew up his whole life in England. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
it's just funny how that works. Like for instance, Musiala. Like uh, Musiala, what was his story? Because he was born in Germany and then grew up in City's academy and then went to play for Germany. Back to, you know what I mean? Or I gotta look this up with Musiala because Musiala is another one that like obviously could have represented England.
Musiala, I
Uh,
think, oh, okay, he was born in Stuttgart,
he
but
was,
then
and then
yeah,
yes,
but then he went to Southampton's academy and
right,
Chelsea's academy, and then went to Bayern.
okay. So I
But
thought Mus.
he played most of his like youth at the England
I
under
didn't
15, 16, 17s,
right. I didn't realize that
and not
Musiala was a
Germany.
Chelsea boy. I thought he was
Yeah,
City. I don't know why I got that confused, but
I that's ingrained in my brain because all the Chelsea guys are like, imagine if we just kept Musiala. Imagine if we got him. And I'm like, you could say that with half
yeah,
the world at this point.
low key, low key. I'm about to make a bold prediction. I think so. At one point, Brazil had all the wonder kids. I think the new hotbed
Hmm.
is Northern Africa. Like you just talked about Olise with like Algerian roots, Lamine with Moroccan roots, Brahim Diaz with Moroccan roots. I'm just using Brahim because he's a Moroccan player now. Hakimi, like these French dudes, a lot of these French dudes have like North African roots. That might be the new hotbed. I might have to go
And
and
you want to
like,
know, what else might be happening too? We're starting to see a tide turn with a lot of these guys who, um, maybe their parents were born in their country uh, of origin, and then they immigrate to Europe, but they decide, hey, I want to play for my mother or my father's
right.
nation in Africa. Um,
Yep.
and I think you're going to start seeing a lot of African countries get a lot stronger in terms of household names over the next decade. So just be on the lookout for that. Once the next AFCON comes, you might be seeing it on Fox Sports 1 instead of Fubo TV.
Hopefully, especially with your coverage.
Yeah.
It's helping to grow it. But let's wrap up this Bayern game. Is Neuer overrated now because he made the
He's
mistake and he's
I
overrated now?
I said that last week that I think it was just a flash in the pan that one game. Like
Yeah, he's not
there's a
that good.
reason why he's not starting for Germany
Yeah,
anymore. Like
dude's
he's
kind of
not good
ass.
anymore. He's
Dude
kind
is
of
kind of
ass.
ass. It's kind of ass. Was this game of the year? It's got to be.
This game of the year.
I'm trying to think what other game would have been game of the year. If
I
you're
mean,
talking drama,
in
maybe
this,
AFCON, but that was 2025, I think. Still,
if we're talking this Champions League, probably up to this point, the only other one I could think of was that second leg, Atleti Barcelona, only because it was very on a knife's edge until the
Mhm.
red. Where you're like, if Barcelona just get one goal, you can see them bringing it into extra time and kind of wiping the floor with Atleti, because Atleti at
Yeah,
that point just put 8 defenders on and
yeah,
was like, we're just gonna sit back and let them try. But like, I would put those two games as probably 1 and 2 so far. I'm trying to
yeah.
think of maybe Bodo
I was gonna say Bodo Sporting,
Inter.
maybe.
Yeah,
Oh,
like
Bodo Sporting. Yeah, Bodo probably could have 3 or 4 on this list.
yeah.
Another one that felt pretty good too, and maybe it was just more like ethical hoops. Was what was it, Club Perouge versus Marseille, where they
Yes,
just
that
came
was a
out.
good last day of
Yeah,
the table.
that was
Yeah.
insane. But anyway, let's finish off with your team Arsenal. So they hold on against Sporting 1-0 on aggregate. Um, this was probably the second least watched game of this round, but
Hmm.
Pooch, I'll give you 2 minutes. Not even.
The
I'll give you 30
the
seconds on this.
yeah, the best way to describe this game is if it's a boxer who is just putting body shots on the other one, but keeping them at an arm's length so they don't get
Yeah.
hit. Like it's like they're not going for the knockout. They know that they have the points in the bag to win it. It's like the 10th or 11th round. They know I'm going to win this as long as I don't get knocked down. So let me just put in a few body shots, keep them at arm's length, and we'll be fine. That's basically how we played, where it was like, if we get an opportunity to score, we're going to try and take it. But other than that, let's just make sure that they don't touch us
What's
defensively.
what's your take on Jokic? Because I've seen the highlights from this game and he looks pretty fucking
He-
ass.
It's honestly
Darwin?
all of his touch. It's his touch is the
Yeah.
issue. Is like he looks really good. He looked really good at Sporting in a few moments this year when he can kind of get his head down and run, because he's not the fastest guy, but he picks up steam over long distances. But
Wait,
we
isn't he like
just
supposedly really fast? Is that part of his whole thing?
he's not like quick. He's fast. He's not quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clarify.
I think the way we set up, that's the reason why he's like against a team like City, he will be important because it's like City are going to want to play out. But against the smaller teams, which is kind of like it's it's a hard one because like we need him against the smaller teams, because historically in our title runs where we've come up short, we don't get the points against the West Hams, the
Mhm.
Southamptons, like, and he actually was brought in to get us points against those teams, which he has done this year. But
Okay.
his playing style is better suited for teams with a higher line. So like a team
Wow.
like Barcelona, I don't know if he'd like hypothetically eat or not like against them, but like that's a game where he's suited for because they play such a high line. So like he can
Gotcha.
try and use his speed to get in behind, but like a team that's going to sit back like Sporting does and clog up that space in the 18, you're sitting there and you're like, that's where you want like a Havertz or a Gabby Jesus who's good with settling the ball, their touch, like all of that. So I think there's a need for him, but it's like a certain need, kind of the same thing with Havertz and a Jesus, where it's like you're not going to play Jesus against City this weekend because his legs are gone and
So,
he doesn't have the speed.
so you guys spent 63 mil on a striker for just moments, certain moments.
That's crazy because you guys spent 65 on Dom Solanke. So,
Solanke presses, he scores. I don't have to worry about what game to start him in.
oh yeah, for a team in 17th, interesting.
Here come the guns are going to come out. Yeah, I'm looking at Jokic right now. I see what you're saying. He has on FIFA, he has 88 sprint speed and 83 acceleration. So that makes sense. I see what you're
Yeah,
saying. It takes him a little while to get there, but he is quick.
yeah.
All right. Do we want to give a quick preview of the matchup? So you have Atleti versus Arsenal. 10 seconds.
Rafinha wants us, so I'm gonna go Arsenal.
Rafinha? Like Barca
Yeah,
Rafinha?
did you see him after the game? He was
I
telling the
see it.
Atletico Madrid fans, he's like, "You're out next round. You're out next round." So he's rooting for Arsenal. So I have to follow my guy.
Yeah, I think
Always
this
been
is
a
probably
fan.
actually where this is a tough one. I hate this leg. What's funny is I usually rock with Atleti because it's kind of like the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Yeah,
But because they've kind of like beat up on this year, I don't know if I am. And it would be kind of funny for you guys to finish second when you lose to Bayern in the final. Oh, and like that one. I'm gonna give my preview. I think preview. I'm gonna take Atleti. Um, there's just some like voodoo magic going on with them, and Lookman is a beast. And that's probably just me also because we have guns raised. PSG versus Bayern. This is probably what the final should be. Respectfully, PSG have figured it out. Bayern are looking like animals. I'm going to take Bayern. I think Bayern are the best team in the world at the moment. The way they're playing. What do you think, your boot?
I don't necessarily agree with your comment that this should be the final, but I don't want to spend 5 minutes arguing about it. So I'll let that slide and we can
Thank God
continue
you
that
let that slide.
conversation. Continue the
Thank God
conversation.
you let
Oh,
that
the
slide.
conversation is not over, but we will continue that conversation when the next round, the semifinals come up. But I will agree. I think Bayern probably is the team that I think will move on.
Fair enough. We'll obviously see as we get closer. Should be good semifinals here. But one more game I wanted to talk of the midweek was friend of the podcast, John Murphy, in one Knoxville knock off DC United in the U.S. Open Cup in a penalty shootout. Game ended 3-3. They went to a shootout, and then I think they went like 6 or 7 shooters deep each team. Awesome match. I caught kind of the end in the penalty shootout. Shout out our boy John. He played, I think, 65, 70 minutes of the game, but shout out to his boys. I think DC United hasn't been knocked out of the Open Cup by a USL team. They said something crazy. I think they said it was like 30 years. I could have
Wow.
totally butchered that. Something crazy like that. So and they were playing starters. So really, really good for job by them and shout out them. But it is now time for us to jump into our interview with Mr. M.D. Myers. Alrighty, we've been hyping it up. We are very excited. We are joined by M.D. Myers of the Tampa Bay Rowdies. M.D., welcome to the show.
Happy to be here, boys.
Awesome. We asked James this last week, and James Murphy, I'm not sure how familiar you are with James, but we asked this, is this the biggest podcast you've ever been on?
I would say so.
There we go.
I'm feeling a little nervous right here.
There you go. See, that's the right answer. James was like, I've been on 3, and this one I think I'm more follow. And it was like, all right, well, now we're going into politics. So no problem. Welcome to the show. We're very excited to have you. For those that don't know, MD right now is playing for Tampa Bay Rowdies. You guys probably heard us a couple weeks ago speaking with Gennaro Nigro. Gennaro got the hookup there. MD is originally from Delray, New Jersey, so another Jersey boy. Everyone on the podcast is a Jersey boy, and has been so far. So we run New Jersey and we run the USL. And it seems like you spent some time in the Philly Union Academy. Is that right?
Yeah, I did my 4 years of high school there. Yeah, I loved it there. I'm from down near Philly. I know you guys are more Jersey guys, but yeah, I'm outside the Philly area. I'm a big Philly sports guy, and yeah, did my 4 years at the Union Academy. So yeah,
good stuff there. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm all New York sports. Philly fan. Pooch, you a St. Louis fan, or what would you call yourself?
Yeah, definitely a St. Louis fan. Had family grow up there. But I'm also from Jackson, MD. If you big Six Flags guy or no?
I've been there. I've been there a couple times. So I know Jackson.
Okay.
You a big Pooch, you know a lot of people that are big Six Flags guys, like they're wearing Six Flags jerseys.
Shockingly, a lot of people are big Six Flags people. So I had to throw that one out there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He was an ultra for Six Flags. He was out in the streets. If you were talking about, I don't know, in Scotch Plains we had Bowcraft. If you said Bowcraft, MD would beat you up. But good stuff. So let's jump into it a little bit. So you spent your first 3 or 4 years over at High Point U?
Yeah, so I did like 2.5 years there, 3 college seasons. Yeah, it was a good experience. Ultimately, I wanted to switch it up, go to Big Ten after that. But I had some great years there. We won the Big South title and the tournament. So went to the NCAA tournament, and it was good times. But yeah, then I obviously went to Rutgers for my senior year and had to come back to Jersey. I was missing home.
Yeah.
And it was a great decision.
I was going to say, you did all right at Rutgers while you were there. You didn't do too shabby. But let me just ask about High Point real quick. I have heard that High Point, and maybe I'm wrong, maybe it's a different school, but I always hear about an NCAA tournament. It's like heaven on earth. Is that true?
It's a country club of colleges. Yeah. I mean, when I went on a visit there, I was like, yeah, I'm committing here. This is like a dream school. Beautiful. Steakhouse on campus, hibachi on campus now. So it's not really, it doesn't even feel like college, but yeah, definitely awesome experience.
That's awesome. I've always heard about it, especially because they've been, especially in March Madness, in the tournament, people talking about like some of the like the steakhouse on campus. I think there's like a creamery on campus, a bunch of cool perks that every college kid would love. But good stuff. And we actually, so we do take questions from a fan. One question from a fan, I guess it does relate to your college career. What made you initially opt for college instead of testing maybe pro waters? Was it an option? What was that process for you, like coming out of high school?
Yeah, so I mean, I was in the Philly Academy, right. And they had Bethlehem Steel back then. Next Pro was in the Bethlehem Steel was in the USL, and for me, I was kind of a late bloomer. From center forward, but I was always the smallest guy like on the team until like my senior year. So that's where I was really coming into myself as a player, and I didn't have those opportunities to go pro right away. So college was going to be my route, and I went to college with the mindset that I wanted to be a pro. That was my main goal from the jump. Obviously, things happen. It's not always the way things go, but that was my mindset, and kind of stuck with that through college. And ultimately, it led me into the pro game. So it worked out for me.
Definitely worked out. I know, and when we spoke to maybe Gennaro, when we spoke to James, guys that take like a lot of different routes. So Gennaro and James both didn't end up going to college. John Murphy went college for a bit. He ended up at Clemson for like a year. But I think a lot of, especially our listeners, it's interesting, right? Because it's one of the only sports where there are alternate routes, right? I mean, I guess NBA has now like the G League, but it really always is college. NFL, you have to go to college. Baseball, again, is kind of a college thing. But then like soccer is this thing where in Europe, like there is no college ball, right? Like you either make it or you don't. And then here in the US, it's, some guys go the college route, some guys do try maybe the European route. So I think that was something that a lot of fans were interested in learning more. By the way, we have 99 followers. So we're pretty big, and we're also pretty big in Southeast Asia for some reason. Vietnam loves us, I swear. So if you know any Vietnamese, feel free to share. We're trying to grow your fan base, maybe get you like a Hung Min Sun type fan base out there, where he had the whole Korean fan base. So just to keep, I forgot to brief you on that pre-show.
I was just working on it, but it's not great yet. I don't want to take it for the first time. So.
Look at that. You and Jadar got this PR thing down. You know that? You got it down pretty good. You alluded to it, though, right? You end up moving over to Rutgers, and there you guys win the Big Ten. I remember following that season because I'm 2022. I graduated 2021 from school, but 2022 was my date. So a couple of guys that I grew up with here in town, Tommy DeVizio, I think captained that team, was from town. I think one of the Murray brothers was on that team. And then I'm not sure if Coach Joe Motorola was there yet. He was there. So you're part of an awesome team. You guys end up winning the Big Ten, which, if I'm not mistaken, that was the first of any program at Rutgers to win the Big Ten since they joined the Big Ten. Is that correct?
First men's program to win
Okay.
regular season or tournament. So yeah, being the first was pretty cool. Yeah.
100%. You had a huge season, right? You played 18 games, 13 goals. Of course, there's a couple assists. And with that, not too shabby. You won the Big Ten, Ballon d'Or, the player of the year there. What was that like, just being home, being able to win at home? And obviously that ended up launching you, right, to the future.
Yeah, I always say that was like my favorite year, like ever. Yeah. It was awesome. I love Rutgers. I love the boys there because it was cool. I came home and it was like playing with a bunch of guys that I've either played with or played against my whole life. So we kind of, I felt really at home, and things worked out. We had a great team that year, and yeah, awesome season. Won the Big Ten tournament. Didn't do much after that. I mean, we put everything into the Big Ten tournament. Tournament, whatever. Didn't at that point, but it was it was awesome. I love my time at Rutgers, and yeah, you mentioned some guys like Tommy DeVizio, and we had a bunch of great players. So
you guys had the guy too. I can't think of his name, but he's the football kicker. He does like the Italian videos.
Yeah, he didn't play. So I was there for 1 year. He didn't play that. He was there before.
I can't think of his name.
I'm forgetting. He was at Tulane. He went to
yes.
Tulane and was kicking there, but I'm forgetting his name. I know him. I just forget right now.
Damn, that's crazy. You can't even shout out your boy. That's all right. No problem. You go on a big podcast, you don't even shout out your boy. No problem, MD. Good stuff. No problem. So then from there, right, you get drafted 66 overall to NYCFCII. So you and I got to NYCFC at the same time. We were coworkers, so to speak. I mean, you were playing. I was probably doing the more important thing, selling tickets. I'm just kidding. We both found ways to sell tickets. But I remember, and in my time there, I was there from 2023 to 2025. You were there from 2023 to 2024. We'll get into that. But I remember at that time, that MLS Next team was pretty solid. That NYCFC2 team. We had some fans who, and again, I was talking to season ticket holders all day who would go to the games and telling me, like, this team's pretty good. We have this striker named MD Myers. I'm like, MD? Like, who the hell named this kid MD? I later realized that your initials are Matthew Dillon, but they would call you Docs and things like that. You absolutely kicked off there. You win the MLS Next Golden Boot at your time. You then get transferred to Charleston, and you had people calling me on the phone, my season ticket holders, asking me why we transferred you. And I was like, first off, I don't know. Secondly, I agree. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about your time with NYCFC2, and I don't know, whatever you want to share about your time with NYCFC2. Is it hard feelings there? Is it good feelings there?
It's complicated for sure. I mean, like, obviously, I took a different path going through college. I got drafted.
Sure.
I'm coming off a Big Ten, Offensive Player of the Year. We won the championship. I'm thinking, I thought it was first round pick for sure. I'm talking to a bunch of teams. And New York City was never one of them. So I'm seeing the draft go down, and all these teams that said they were going to pick me don't pick me, and I'm kind of getting frustrated. And then New York City picks me, a team I'd never communicated with before, but I'm like close to home, not too bad. I'll figure it out, and it's always a hard market though. Like center forward at NYCFC, they're looking for big time European, South American talent.
Of course.
So I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, but I was kind of like, I went to preseason with the first team for the first couple weeks. Didn't really get any reps up there, so I knew I was going to be the second team. But I was basically saying I'm going to kill it here, and we'll see where it goes from there. So obviously, yeah, it was a good season. Team did okay. We had a good team though. We had a bunch of decent players, guys breaking through into the first team now. But I'm a 22-year-old at that point, and I'm next pro. Don't see much of a future. It's a league for younger guys, and so after that season, I had an option for the next year that they were going to pick up. They did pick it up, but ultimately they had no plans for me to the first team. I wasn't. That was the conversations. Like, I don't know if you're going to go to preseason with the first team, and to me, for my career, I didn't want to do another year with the next pro. It wasn't going to be the best option. So me, being that I wanted to be playing against men at that point, was kind of pushing for a move because there was no future, and landed in Charleston. It was a great spot to be.
Awesome. I just have a quick question on the process, like the draft process in MLS. Is it similar to what we see in like the NBA or the NFL where there's a full combine, there's interviews? Is it similar to that, or is it kind of different in a few ways?
Yeah, it's very similar. I would say probably 40 guys went down to a combine. It was down at NC State, so go down there for 3 days. It's not exactly like an NFL or NBA combine. It's not too many drills where you're testing your 40 time and how high you can jump, but
Just crossbar challenge.
Crossbar challenge all day. It was a lot of
3v3s.
we played 11v11 for like 3 days straight, and then I interviewed with like probably 8 to 10 teams, and none of them were New York City. So don't know how much they were putting into it, but that's how it was.
And at that combine, were European scouts or like scouts from outside the MLS there too, or was it strictly just MLS?
To me, it seemed like strictly MLS. I didn't see anybody else, and honestly, like the combine was awesome because I got to talk to all these other players that I've been competing against and racing against, and scoring goals and trying to see who's killing it. So being able to interact with those guys, and now I see a bunch of those guys around the league. There's actually a couple guys here, even at Tampa, that were at that combine. So soccer world's small, and
awesome.
you get to make those connections, which was cool.
For sure.
Yeah, and also as a Philly guy, Philly Union guy, going to NYCFC, was there anything there where it's not like the Red Bulls where you're like growing up, you're like, hate the Red Bulls. Like since NYCFC is a little newer, was there still a little bit when you got drafted there, like, okay, I gotta put away all the Union jerseys that I have, like all of that, like I'm on arrival now? Like, what's the mindset going into there?
Definitely. I was pissed off Union didn't pick me up. They had my homegrown rights and they didn't want to do it. So I was going to New York City. I was like, especially when we played them during the season with the next pro, I wanted to show out as much as possible.
That's awesome. Was there a team, and I don't know if you can reveal this, was there a team talking to you a lot that you were like, I'm definitely going here? And then
the thing is, like, there wasn't one team.
Sure.
I just felt like there was multiple teams that had a lot of interest, and it just didn't. It just never happened. Yeah.
Okay. No problem. Yeah. Totally get that there. I mean, you guys are better than me. I would be on draft night if, I don't know, if it was like San Diego called me or was like telling me like, hey, like we want you. And then I end up in like Vancouver or Minnesota. I'd probably just retire. I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I'd be drafted like, I don't know, last pick. I should be just happy to get picked. And I'd be like, nah, I'm done. I'm not going to Vancouver. But I guess New York isn't too bad a spot to go. Taxes aren't great, but.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't getting paid enough to worry about the tax.
You got a good accountant, no problem there. But yeah, so then you end up down at Charleston, right? And in our time, as I think we've all become very educated on the USL in the past 3 weeks as we interviewed our USL guys. We've learned that Charleston is obviously one of the more historic clubs, right? One of the longer clubs, probably one of the better spots for you to end up in the USL to start off. Tell us about that. So you win the USL Championship in 2020, or excuse me, USL Championship Young Player of the Year award in 2024. You're nicknamed the M&M Boys due to your striker partnership with Nick. I'm gonna butcher his last name, Nick Markinich. How'd I do there?
It's Marcanic, but you're close enough.
Fair enough. Sorry, Marcanic. Nicknamed the M&M Boys. So you really hit it off there, right? You're banging in goals. How good did that feel? Probably kind of being able to leave and hit the ground running, right? Versus maybe doing the opposite, or maybe you're not, and now you're like, damn, why you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, yeah. So the biggest thing I wanted to go to that league or the USL because I wanted to play against men. So, right away they're coming off of final appearance. They lost in the finals year before in penalties. Heartbreaker. I know they have a great team. They were bringing in great players. Talked to the head coach, and I'm like, this sounds exactly what I want. So I come in. Preseason goes really well, and yeah, I just scored some goals off the start and was fine from the beginning. I just felt like I clicked with that group, and yeah, me and Nick were killing it, and he was scoring a bunch of goals. So that's me follow in his footsteps a little bit because I always say it's easier when you have multiple guys scoring goals because then there can't be multiple defenders on me. They got to spread the wealth.
Yeah.
And, we're gonna score goals as well. So it was good.
Good stuff there. Was there a little bit of like, for instance, I used to work in sales. So for me, it was like, you love the guy next to you, but you're competing. Was it a little bit of that too? Like, hey, like I want to be, I want to be the guy who finished the season with a higher total. Was that out of you cross your mind? What was going through your guys' mind there? Was there a little friendly competition? Was there no competition?
I think we always joke about it, but we were winning a lot of games, and at the end of the day, it's like we want the team success. And honestly, he set the USL Championship record for goals that year, so I was always lagging a little bit behind, but he was pushing me to do better for sure.
100%. I mean, that's got to help, right? And especially having you both. The cool part about it is, I mean, what were you guys playing at that point? Was it a 4-4-2 or at least two strikers up front, or was he more of a winger?
He was more of a winger, and he kind of flowed everywhere. Once you score 25 goals, you can kind of dictate what you want to do. You just get in the right spots, and he'll score goals. So
I was going to say, it's a happy problem. I don't know many teams that have two guys just banging goals in left and right. You know what I mean? At that rate, maybe you're talking like Barcelona, MSN. Good stuff there. And then, so that ends in 2025. You end up making move to Tampa Bay. You're at Tampa Bay now. This is your first season. Again, another one of the historic clubs, one of those clubs that when you look through the history book of U.S. soccer, Tampa Bay comes up. What prompted the move to Tampa Bay? How's it been so far? What are you looking forward to? I know we spoke to Gennaro a little bit. I've heard that this group is different. He's told us that he hasn't really got to play with them. He's been banged up, but he's been telling me this group is different. You were one of the names he brought up specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great group of guys. I mean, there's only 2 guys on the team that were here last year. They didn't have a great season last year. So, new coach, Dom Casciato, he brought in a bunch of great players from around the league and in League One. So, I think it's the character of the guys that really set them apart. And Dom put the plan together for me. Obviously, contract negotiations happened, and it ultimately seemed like the best option for me, and I'm really happy to be here. We started the season off on a great start, and I think it's going to be an awesome season just all around.
You said that he put the contract. How much did he pay you?
I'm getting
Enough.
I'm living good. It's fine. I'm happy.
Hey.
I'm at the beach all the time. What can I say?
He's not getting paid, unfortunately. Damn. All right, we got you. Don't worry. When I start hearing about the living conditions around you, I'm sorry, brother. We got you. This pod's gonna get you. All right.
Happy. So that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I'm totally fucking with you. I promise you. If they paid me $10 a year to play footy, I would. All right. Somehow I ended up paying to be in a league, which you're always welcome to join us. By the way, we have a men's league up here in Clifton, New Jersey. You're more than welcome to join us. You may have to come off the bench. Is that all right?
That's fine. I'm a super sub. I like coming off the bench. Everybody's tired, so that's perfect.
There you go. You see, him and I have the same mentality as like the gaffer, as the captain. I start on the bench. That way I get we do it like hockey changes. It's live changes. So I'm like, all right, let me wait for their center backs to get tired before they make a change. I'm going to jump in, press them, and score. Now everyone thinks I'm a dog. Then I just jog off, just like that.
Right. 30. Who wants to play 90 minutes? You can play 30 and score the same amount of goals.
Exactly. See, we get it. We're goalsmen. But yeah, good stuff there. We've obviously been watching you guys and rooting for you. I've seen Tampa Bay's been killing it. But let's get into some of the fun stuff here. Obviously the career stuff's good. We know you're a goal scorer. First things first, when did MD start? It's also, first off, it's an awesome nickname, right? I know it's obviously just your initials, but like, when did that start? How many people do people call you Doc, Doctor, like any of that?
Well, it started. So my dad's name is Matt as well.
Okay.
My mom hates when people call me Matt because she says it's not my name. So even like when I was little, I go to a parent teacher conference and they're calling me Matt. My mom's like, "Why are they calling you that? That's not your name." So I think it was one of my first few teams. There's another Matthew on the team, and they're just kind of like, call him MD, whatever. But I always liked it. It's kind of stuck, and that's everyone calls me that now except for like my mom and my sister. So
Yeah.
it's that's what's stuck. And then the Doc, yeah, every team thinks they're creative and calls me Doc. So
Okay, we'll have to come with our own nickname for you. We'll find something cool. We're like, again, we can really get trends going for you. This is also a marketing meeting for you guys, and so we'll help you guys out. All right. With the Murphy brothers, they're Seton Hall fans. We all went to Seton Hall, other than Owen. So like, we're working on them on starting an NIL. Maybe we'll help you with a little marketing. Get the MD going, the Doc going.
Yeah,
there you go.
Word.
Dude, we gotta get this salary up, man. He's like, yeah, let's get these 3 random guys with 99 followers on my marketing team, man. Oh my god, MD, come on, bro, come on. I'm just messing with you.
But trainers in this league, we gotta push it.
100%, good stuff there. So you told us before the episode started, you're a United guy. They have Chelsea this weekend. What are our thoughts here?
Yeah, I think we rested the other day against Leeds. We didn't want to show on firepower. So big win this weekend. Yeah, so I got high hopes.
There you go, as you should. As you should. I mean, I've been saying it for months. Carrick at the wheel. That's the right decision. He's got him playing good footy. And, you know, we're also a pretty anti-Chelsea podcast. I'm a Spurs fan. Pooch is an Arsenal fan. Owen's also a Spurs fan. So, like, Chelsea doesn't get a lot of love around here. United can get some respect from me. I don't really hate United. Pooch hates United. So,
hate United.
I mean, yes, being a Spurs fan right now, it's a rough life.
Okay. All right. Relax.
Yep.
All right, man.
Yep. It is.
I was in London in December, and I was at the last home win that they had like 5 months ago now. So
Jesus, 5 months ago.
Great point, MD. Great point.
I saw an Instagram post today. It was like they had 1 win at home in the last 8 months because Carson has the same amount of wins at stadium as Chelsea or as Tottenham. So.
All right, MD, listen, man, we were on good terms, you and I. We just told you before the show that me and Pooch already had like the guns drawn at each other. You got to pick your sides, all right? You got to pick your sides.
I'm hating on Arsenal too, though. Don't think you know.
MD, I'm wearing a City jersey on my podcast because that's how much I hate Arsenal. Good stuff there, though, too. And I mean, tell us a little more. So, I mean, aspirationally, right? Obviously, now you've gotten your move, right? You've moved to a league where you're playing against men. Obviously, the focus I know is probably every single game, right? Game ahead of yourselves. But like, what is the long-term goal? I'm sure obviously it is to be the starting number 9 for Man United, but you know, what is that looking like over the next 2 years? Is it to get into the MLS? Is it to get to Europe? What does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, I always want to push myself. I always want to go to the highest level that I can. I mean, ultimately my goal always is to make an appearance to the national team.
Of course.
I mean, they've had a lot of trouble scoring goals, so you never know. And
yeah,
I keep scoring goals here. Hopefully MLS or something better calls, but if not, no, I'm enjoying my time. I'm loving it here in Tampa so far, and hopefully I score 30 some goals this year. That's the plan.
Something light. Look, hopefully I score another 30. Whatever, no big deal.
Yeah.
MD, I have a question. I think it would probably be deemed important. An important question. I
hope. I have no idea.
All of our guests, I think you do. I ask all of our guests this question, so I just want to see where your thought lies. Who's the hardest team kind of that you've had to play in the USL, and why is it Hartford Athletic?
I don't know.
The laugh is so fucked up to Hartford Athletic, man. There's a reason we have 0 listeners in Hartford.
The same reaction.
I mean, last couple of years they've been pushing. When I was younger, I mean, Hartford were a joke back in the day.
Yeah.
So last year they were really pushing. They had a good team. They won the Jägermeister Cup, so they're on the come up. But
there's a Jägermeister Cup.
Jägermeister Cup. So now it's called the Pranks Tires Cup. If you really follow along.
I like that.
Yeah, but it's like a league cup they started last season. Has League One and championship teams, and then Hartford won it last year. So
That's awesome. I did not know we had a Jägermeister Cup.
yeah,
So
that
Pooch,
was
we got
the name. I kind of wish it was still Jägermeister Cup. Pring's Tire doesn't roll off the tongue.
No.
That's awesome. I mean, Pooch, we're gonna have to maybe call it the Classes Permanent Cup. All right.
Yeah. We should fund our own cup. Yeah.
MD, maybe you could throw us, I don't know. We're going to have to figure out how much we need for the naming rights, but you toss us a little bit. We'll take the NIL fund from scene. Okay, this is going to work out. We'll talk off air about this. This is going to work out. Good stuff there. Good stuff. But yeah, you guys obviously have a big season this year for Tampa, right? A solid squad. You guys are doing well so far. I'm sure the goal is championship. Is that the buzz in the room? Is the buzz right now just we're taking one game at a time? What does this group think they can do?
Yeah, I mean, we won our first 4 games, and then we drew on the weekend. And I don't know, the feeling around the locker room after that game was like we just lost 10-0. It's because nobody's satisfied. I think this week really, really firing. We go to Charleston this weekend, so big one for me, and I think big one for the whole team. I think if we can get a statement win this weekend, we're really pushing for a big season. And I think, championships, we want to win there's 3 trophies on the line. Pring's Tires. We want to win the whole thing. And then, just be the best team in the regular season. Just consistency, I think, is the most important thing for us.
100%. And I mean, so maybe a little bit of a preview for the fans, but so when John scored against Forward Madison, his former club, he went running to his new coach, jumped over the like billboard and hugged him. If you score this weekend, are we going hands up respect, or do we got a Sully in the works?
I don't think I got a hands up respect, but in the moment, I mean, it's calm. I don't have any animosity towards them, but we'll see what happens in the moment. Usually, I'm bad at planning out celebrations, but whatever I'm feeling in the moment just comes out usually. So.
All right, maybe Owen has always wanted a pro to do his celebration, so Owen, can you show MD, and maybe MD can do it this weekend?
We're not doing this. I did actually see recently a video of you scoring, and you hit a little Jordan shrug.
I like that. It's nice and calm.
That was hard. I was a fan of that. And I do have a question. This is something I've been meaning to ask everybody, but I haven't. So I'm going to ask you. Been on a couple squads. All right, I'm a big soccer jersey fan. That's important to me. Love when teams unveil new kits. I love when I turn on a game, teams are wearing nice kits. Is that ever something a professional player thinks about? Either, let's say you're coming to a new club or a new season is starting, or you find out you're getting an alternate kit that you really like or you really hate. I just want to know, do you guys think about kits from your own perspective? And does that impact anything at all?
I don't know about choosing a team, but we're always looking at them. When teams drop new kits, Oakland we just played them this week, and they have an awesome kit. I don't know if it's their third kit or the regular kit, but very cool one. And I mean, I'm going for all the colors in the rainbow at this point. I've been purple, red, yellow, black, green. So I'm hitting all those.
You're better than us, because I think I 100% would sign based off kits. I'd go somewhere and I'd be like, yeah, I can't wear that. I'm like, sorry, mate. I'm going to have to go somewhere else. But that's totally fair. Owen is a big kit guy. When we drop new kits, we like to review them on the show. Some things like that. And one more thing too here, just talking about like aspiration, right? And this is something we've spoken about with everybody is, when it comes to aspiration, you spoke about trying to push yourself to the MLS, trying to make a U.S. national team. How big a deal is it for you to be in the next edition of FIFA? James said it wasn't that big a deal, but then when we pulled up his old FIFA card, he seemed pretty in the know with what was going on. So is that something like a big deal to get into FIFA? Is that,
I would love to be in FIFA. I would save those games forever, show my grandchildren that, because that's a flex for sure.
100%. When we talked to James about it. So James was from our hometown. He's a couple years older than me. And I remember when he went over to Sheffield, or it actually wasn't when he was in Sheffield, but when he went to LAFC, he was on the bench. So they put him in the game. And I remember us like, all right, I got to pack him. First off, they were handing out his card for free. He's like 43 overall, something crazy. So something we had to bring up to him. And then we actually saw one person left a comment on this site, and it just was making fun of him. And I was like, That's insane. You get into FIFA and the first thing someone does is clap back at you, but all good there. Pooch, you had another question for MD?
Yeah, I was gonna ask you, MD, because you've played in a lot of places throughout the U.S., home and like just even traveling home and away. Is there a favorite kind of city and then a least favorite city where you're like, when you know that that team's on the schedule, you're like, oh, awesome, I get to go to San Diego or San Jose, and then it's like, oh no, I have to go to like Albuquerque to play.
There's some bad cities in the USL. I would say it's one of the worst things about the league. There's some spots I just don't want to be. I'm not gonna lie. Last year we were in New Mexico and I felt like we were in a war zone. You couldn't go out and do anything. Like they actually
Yep.
have a great fan base. Like stadium atmosphere is cool, but
Mhm.
yeah, it's not the best location in my opinion.
Yeah.
But there's some awesome stadiums. Louisville is an awesome stadium. Always fun to go there. You feel like a proper professional, like you're playing
Yeah.
in a proper stadium. So that's a cool spot. Played at DC last year in the Open Cup. Also, shout out
Mhm.
John for
Yes.
winning last night. Big cup set. So yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, 100%. I think that's been something we've asked because a bunch of the guys on the pod so far have kind of bounced around and just like learning. I mean, Gennaro obviously got to spend time in like Rome, Italy, so that was a different conversation. But with a couple of you guys bouncing through, I mean, what was it? It was Gennaro and John bounced through Las Vegas. James has been like in Indy. I think everybody has told us like Louisville, number one of the
Mhm.
best fans, best buildings. And somebody, I won't release names because I said it off the pod, was like, New Mexico, you never go. They're like, you never go to New Mexico. You never go to Albuquerque. So understood. I think we're taking notes and all good there. Makes sense.
And then real quick, where would you rank like a city like St. Louis? Like hypothetically, if like a team like St. Louis
I don't even have
City
a team,
in the
Pooch.
MLS, well, in the MLS, like in the near future needed a striker, like hypothetically, how would you, that would be a pretty good spot,
Good
right?
question. Good question.
Sounds pretty awesome. Everything I've heard
Yeah.
sounds amazing. You're
Yeah.
selling it to me.
Yeah.
There you
You
go. All
could go
right.
to you could go to a Blues game. You can go to a Cardinals game. I think my uncle can like make you barbecue if you really wanted it. All hypothetical, but
All
yeah,
those things factor into the contract negotiations.
yeah,
So.
yeah.
100%. That's awesome. Yeah, other than that, I mean, MD, you've been awesome. It's been awesome to chop it up with you. We appreciate it. You've rolled with the punches pretty well. We'll keep all the political and religious stuff off air for you guys. Actually, you could subscribe to our Patreon. Subscribe to the Colossus Permanent Patreon. Use code MD for 10% off, and that's where you get the raw, extended cut footage of this episode. But that being said, MD, do you have anything to leave the fans with? Anything they should know about MD Myers?
I would just say tune into some Tampa Bay games. I think USL product is getting better every single season, and hopefully, if they give us some better standards, it's even going to get better. But yeah, watch some USL games.
There you go. You heard it from the doc. I just came up with that. You heard it from the doc here, Doc Myers. That
Very original. I haven't heard that one.
it's extremely original. Yeah, we do that. We do this
I
on
don't know
pod.
if you've seen the picture that New York City FC posted of me as a doctor, but it was the second team. I can send it to you if you.
100%.
It's one of the worst pictures I've ever seen.
Where that's exactly going to go, right? That's going to be our new episode post. The first one. That's perfect
I'll
there.
send it over. Yeah, you can clip it.
Good stuff. We definitely need that. But good stuff here, MD. We appreciate the time. We're definitely going to need to get your kit. We're building a nice little USL wall of kits, so that way we'll be able to see our guys. And I've said it, once this pod's blown up and we've interviewed, Messi, Ronaldo, Lamine, because you came on early, we're going to keep you right in the center. Their jerseys will have to go around yours. So, yeah, it's a pretty good perk. But that being said, everyone tune into Tampa, tune into MD Myers. He's one to watch. I believe he's a goal scorer. You always need goal scorers around the league. We'll be rooting for you in Tampa. Me and Pooch, I think we're going to try and make a trip for one of your guys' game, whether you're up here. I'd like to say we'll go down to Tampa, but I don't know if we have the budget for that right now. We'll figure that one out. But other than that, class is permanent. We appreciate you, MD. And yeah, thank you for the time.
Awesome, boys. It was fun.
Alrighty, that was an awesome interview with MD Myers. Really fun to chat with him and someone that, we see a big future for. So hopefully with all our USL guys, we see a big future, but with MD Myers especially, those goal scorers. Maybe one day he'll be at Arsenal with a better touch than Gyökeres. I don't know. Let's move into our weekend preview. We'll start in the Premier League. Let's start with the first one, Spurs versus Brighton. De Zerbi, I guess, playing his old club. I'm naturally inclined to say Spurs, but that's just also me with like my mental illness. Brighton are in really good form. Give me Spurs to draw.
I think Spurs get a win here, in all honesty. They got De Zerbi. He's doing his I'm coming home. Shout out Skylar Gray. Shout out the guy in prison in New Jersey.
Wait, what?
Did he? Did the song I'm coming home.
I didn't know he was in prison in New Jersey. Thank you for sharing that.
Yep.
I actually, that's why I'm leaving New Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think his homecoming will have great effects for Tottenham. I think they're going to get the win. I think they're going to stay up. They're going to have the parade for staying up. And I think everything will be right in the world. Tottenham still in the Prem, still fighting for those Champions League spots, that Champions League title. Oh, it's going to be great.
We're going to get to City Arsenal, don't you worry. Chelsea versus United. This is tough because United obviously just dropped points last weekend. I don't know. Pooch, what's your natural inkling here? Chelsea versus United. Chelsea is home. They're at the Bridge.
I mean, my natural inclination would be Chelsea, honestly. And that's only because I forgot to bring this up last week because I don't think we discussed Man United leads.
Yeah.
But Man United had a 21-day rest before that game.
You're right, actually. I saw that.
They're
in
zero competitions, so they were just training. So that break makes me want to think like they've only played an actual 90-minute match once in the last 28 days.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like Chelsea will have like a bit of like momentum and mojo. I know they just got reamed out by City, but I still think they'll have kind of a little bit of more juice in terms of like, hey, this is how we know what we're doing and not like training ground, like games and just practice. So
yeah, I'm going to go in the opposite of this. I think United probably got their kinks out in that game. And I think they're probably like back to kind of normalcy here. But they have injuries. They have Dorgu injured, Kobe Mainoo's injured, De Ligt's injured, Martinez is suspended. So like their back line, Lenny Yoro was signed for a decent amount. But they also have this guy, I think Aiden Heaven, who you're big on, right? Wasn't that the center back that came from Arsenal?
Yeah, he was. I don't think I was ever big on him.
Oh, okay. Well, Aiden Heaven will be playing against him, so that backline might be a little leaky. But I mean, the form that Bruno's been in, Sesko Fender figuring it out, and I just really I don't like this Chelsea team on paper. So I guess we'll go different ways there. Everton versus Liverpool, the Merseyside derby. Give me Everton. Give me Everton. Yeah,
I love that song.
Liverpool are in bad form. By the way, Ekitike, torn Achilles.
Yeah.
That's horrible news. I actually feel horrible for him.
Yeah, I feel really bad. I really like him as a player and also as a like personality in terms of soccer. Yep. I feel like we don't really have a bunch of personalities. Yeah.
Yeah, he's super fun. And the worst part is just right before the World Cup. He was definitely going to be able to play for France.
He's probably going to start. Maybe not. But
arguably.
Maybe.
He'd be in the rotation, right?
Yeah.
You don't know how they're going to line up with Dictator and Mbappe and who he likes and doesn't like. But yeah, got to feel for Ekitike. Also insane, like, honestly, it's good that Liverpool signed Isak and Ekitike because they've both just been hurt and played for each other. So it actually worked out. But give me Everton. I think Liverpool's vibes are just kind of shit at this point. I think the players are like, what are we really playing for anymore? I guess partially Champions League and staying in the Champions League.
They got their eyes on Mallorca right now.
Pretty much, right?
They just want Mallorca before the World Cup.
100%. So I'm going to take Everton here. Everton also, again, we were just talking like just a good vibes club at the moment. Liverpool does need the win because Chelsea's like right on their heels, but Liverpool probably feels a little bit like we have a 4-point lead. God forbid we drop this one. We could just keep going. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's what players really think. All right, let's get into the big one this week. Manchester City versus Arsenal. I believe they are in Manchester. Is that correct, Pooch?
Yes.
Oh, my God.
They're at the Etihad.
Okay, well, for those that are not watching the YouTube, and maybe, I don't know if we've posted any clips of me in this yet, because that's foreshadowing. I am in my Manchester City kit. I'm taking City here. all the pressure in the world's on Arsenal. You have to go to Manchester. I don't know. This just feels like if you guys lose this game, I think the season capitulates right here. And I like that we've been using that word. Maybe this is me just raising my guns because you raised your guns against Spurs versus Brighton. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
When did
here?
I do that? I said
You did
Spurs
like 5
are going
minutes
to
ago.
win.
I'm not
I
going to
said
start with you.
Spurs
I'm
are going to win.
Oh,
Spurs are going to win.
And then they're going to. Go on. Tell me about why you think Arsenal are going to win and then they're going to lose. And I'm not even going to say anything to you. That's the funny part. I'm going to be so nice about it and be respectful because I know how much losses hurt because my teams are always competing. It's mainly Barca. But go on.
Yeah, you guys have lifted a ton of Champions League trophies over the past decade.
Are you speaking? Are you speaking of all human beings on this planet? Oh, my days.
Sorry, what you cut out there? What'd you say?
No, you heard me. Ooh, go on. Just talk. Just talk.
Okay.
Just talk. 3 minutes. Oh, yeah,
Why
you're
you
going to act like
rattled?
you rage baited me?
Why are you rattled? Why are you rattled?
Oh, my God.
Why
You're
you
the one
rattled?
rattled.
Why
You're
you
going to be
rattled?
rattled.
Why you
I'm going to come
rattled?
in on Monday
Why
and we're
you
going to talk
rattled?
about this.
Why
and
you
you're
rattled?
literally going to be
Why
sitting
you
here.
rattled? Why you rattled?
This is bad podcasting, Ethan.
Why you rattled?
Speak
Hold
about
on,
Arsenal.
Let me.
I cannot wait for Monday. We are going to win. City, us are going to win and beat you. You came onto this pod like, remember when Heung-min Son purposely missed Arsenal? You were talking about a game that Arsenal wasn't even playing in. We'll see you on Monday. You have 10 seconds before I move on.
Is all Ethan crashing out? Is all he crashing out? We're the best team in the league. We're the best team in the league. That's why we're going to win.
Okay, well,
statistically, we're the best team in the league.
Have you guys beat City this year?
Statistically, we're the best team in the league.
You guys beat City this year?
No.
Okay. No problem. You're good.
Statistically, we're the
if
best
you want to
team
leave
in the
it there, you can leave it there. We can leave it there. You can leave it there.
We'll see Sunday.
See, this guy doesn't stand on business. I would have come in here and been like, I'll cut my nuts off if we lose. This guy just comes in here and he's like, we're best team in the league.
Well, you don't know what that feels like. You guys are never in a position to fight for a title. So
I won a title last year. When's your last title?
Oh, you won a title last year, correct? Yeah.
When was your last title?
And then you won a title the
when
year
was your
before,
last title?
And the year before that, and the
when
year
was your
before
last title?
that, and the year before that.
When was your last title?
Fan,
Answer the
you're
question.
Not actually a Tottenham fan.
Answer your question. I'm happy to also be a City fan.
6 years ago.
Okay. Anyway, let's move on. La Liga. Well, it's not really La Liga. It's Copa del Rey. You have Atleti versus Sociedad. I'm honestly going to take Sociedad here because I think Atleti have their eyes on just like Champions League. I think they will play. They have to field a good team for this. It's obviously a final. They want to win it. But I think Sociedad at this point is the biggest game of their year. I don't know where it's being hosted. I think they move it around. But what do you think, your Poot?
I think Atletico Madrid, they're riding a high.
That's fair. I mean, they could. This final is being played Estadio de la Cartuja. I don't know which one that is. I'll tell you right now. Maybe this will give us some insight. The Charter House. What?
Is it potentially in
Sevilla? Yeah. It's Sevilla. Yeah. So
that's what I thought.
So is what it is. And then there wasn't really too much around the world, but we did want to talk about, of course, the Sidemen charity match. Big game. Pooch, are you taking Sidemen or YouTube All-Stars?
Give me a quick 5-second who's on what team. Give me like 2 people.
Why would I know?
You're the one that brought it up.
Wait, Loki
you're
was
the one that brought it up.
Wait,
what do you
Loki.
mean? Why are you getting so defensive about that? You're the one that brought it up.
You're asking me like I know these things. Sidemen FC, they actually have on FotMob like the squad. Let me see if I could find the game and give you a quick preview.
I'm looking at it right now.
Okay, the lineup, the proposed lineups for Sidemen are XQC. I don't know if that's in net. Adapt at right back.
Are you about to do all 22?
Laser Beam at center back. Rodashaw, my boy, center back. Amin Matu.
Yep, I like
never
Harry.
heard. You know Amin?
Nope.
Oh, Rodashaw. Oh,
no,
yeah.
I was saying Rodashaw and Adapt.
I don't know Adapt, but Amin. What is
Brain
this?
shot.
Deji at right mid. Zerka at center mid. Chris MD at center mid. I mean, that's got to be an Arsenal, right? Is he not like? Is he even talk about Arsenal? I know he's an Arsenal fan, but is he like an Arsenal content creator? Chris MD.
He likes Arsenal. I don't think I've ever seen him in any Arsenal things.
Okay, that's why I'm asking because I remember growing up he was an Arsenal fan, but Lacey at left mid, which is insane because I don't really know Lacey, but from what I do know about Lacey is he lost a lot of weight and the picture that you see is a fat face. Horrible. Jinxie at striker, and then Vicstar123 at striker. And Vicstar is actually wearing the number 123 for this match.
Nice.
Let's go to the YouTube All Stars. In goalkeeper, you got Sketch. Sketch reacts. At left back, you have Jason the Ween. Wow. At center back, you have Mr. Who's the Boss. At center back, you have Carrie Minata. At right back, you have Will Nee. At right mid, you have Max Fosh. At center back, you have Bazinga. Wait, what? Aren't these guys sidemen? Center mid, you have KSI. Left mid, you have Ibai. Ibai's a very big Spanish streamer, but he's a Real Madrid fan. Striker, you have Minimeter. And then at the other striker, you have Stable Ronaldo, who I've never heard of. You know what? Give me the Sidemen FC. I'm taking them.
Yeah, Sidemen FC.
I would have liked to see Neil Kennedy.
Yeah. Fuck that guy. Fuck that guy.
I want to see him play so bad.
That's the guy, for those that don't know, if you look up Neil Kennedy, I think his brother does it too, where it's like, I'm going to be the starting striker at the 2026 World Cup for the U.S.
By the 2026 World Cup.
And he's got the man boobs in half the videos. He's like horribly out of shape.
And he just posts a video of him taking 2 free kicks.
Yep.
And they go in. It's like, there's the proof, I guess.
Yeah, that would have actually been great if he was in it, but I also understand the sidemen being like, keep this guy the fuck away from me. What I don't get is, why are the sidemen, like KSI and Bazinga and I think Miniminter are sidemen, why are they not playing on sidemen? I don't know.
I have zero clue. Maybe they want to switch it up this year. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say, when it comes to podcast, playing in the sidemen charity match is like, yeah, it's got to be part of our goals as a podcast. I need to score at Wembley. That'd be nuts.
Invert the wing is goal 1 of 1. Then we can cancel the pod.
Wait, Class's permanent cup? And then we just invite who we want.
Yeah, we could do that.
We invite Invert the Wing.
We can legitimately do that this summer.
Do we just lie to get Invert the Wing there?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just us hanging out with him on a field.
Also, I just want to mention real quick before we end it that Serie A Como is playing Sassuolo.
Yeah, big game for us.
Roma is playing Atalanta. So those are 2 big matches for Champions League qualification type of games. I think Juventus is playing Cream in My Pants Onese or something like that. Who are they playing? Oh, Bologna.
Cream in My Pants Onese. Okay. So that's big in Serie A, I guess. And then some other games, I've tried to highlight some of our USL friends, some of their games. We have Charleston taking on Tampa Bay Rowdies, so we will see MD Myers in that. Charleston was his former club, as you heard, so I guess that'll be cool. And then Knoxville will be taking on Charlotte, not Charlotte FC, but Charlotte USL team. Good for them. Keep an eye out for those games. Watch the USL, watch our guys. Other than that, I don't have really anything too much. What about you, Pooch? Anything left for the people?
Nope. Just enjoy that Tottenham Brighton game this weekend. Should be a doozy.
Look at him deflecting. You should be telling people to watch Arsenal. You should be like, you should watch the Arsenal.
Everybody's already watching Arsenal because
everyone's watching City.
Everybody's watching Arsenal because we're top of the league and they want to see that first versus
Make
second.
some fucking noise.
We go. Listen, I'm just trying to point out small clubs and make sure that everybody's aware of the relegation.
Come on, City boys. Anyway, that's it for us. Class is permanent. Form is temporary. Enjoy the weekend. Peace.